Hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm here today to discuss the social, economic, and cultural factors that affect the health and lifestyle of children within Australia. Firstly, I'd like to start with some of the facts behind the obese children in the world. 110 million kids worldwide are overweight. More than 22 million children are under 5 are overweight across the world. Since 1980, the prevalence of obesity in 6 to 11-year-old and adolescents 12 to 17 have tripled. Previously, disease related to obesity were only seen in adults, are now also seen in children. Obesity is on the rise in children, however, predominantly more so in non-white population groups, and this could be linked to the socio-economic status and education. Child obesity is a major global health challenge that is facing the 21st century. And even with the attention from government, media, healthcare systems, this issue continues to rise. Some of the economic factors that are associated with this as well. So the economic is it doesn't really have a large effect on children as they don't really in the workforce or anything like that. But health implications and costs of government on the healthcare system and ways in which to take care of these children that are overweight is a big issue. As for the social aspect of this, this can usually cause poor social skills, low self-esteem, and social stigmatization. This results in kids being bullied at school or online when they get home as well. And this can also result in kids suffering from depression, which leads back to the first point there of the low self-esteem, which only ends up getting worse. This usually results in kids dropping out of sport on the weekend, kids not wanting to go to school anymore, and kids not wanting to, hang out with other people too, which can become a real issue for children at such a young age. Culturally, usually it can be things like the food that's consumed. Traditionally, an Italian family might eat a lot of carbs, and that's just not going to help kids at all. Times at which you are and are not allowed to eat, so things like Ramadan, where you can only eat at night. That can really affect some children as well. Stacking on food overnight, and it's just not going to help the metabolism and things like that during the day. The proportions of food that you eat, so say someone like America, their proportions are probably 3 times as large as Australians and things like that as well, so that can really play a big factor there. So the next part I'd like to talk about here is the government policies and things that they are putting in place at the moment. So Obesity Australia in 2014 state that government have increased their focus on obesity, establishing it as one of the 9 health priority areas in Australia. They have allocated funds to states, territories for obesity. They provide price support for low socio-economic status people. The 2 and 3 fruit and veg day policy. It's good to have this, but it needs to be enforced as well. So enforcing this in schools, local canteens and stuff like that at the schools, bringing in healthy options, not just those fatty options that used to always be there. The Eat for Health website to help educate and understand what yours and your children's nutrition should look like. Education in schools, so making it a policy to have those certain foods and standards in schools at the canteen. Provide cooking classes and ways in which kids can make healthy foods rather than all those deep fried things that they might just want to quickly snack on when they get home. And not rewarding kids at school with chocolates and lollies. So maybe an extra 20 minutes in the playground or something like that might be a better option there. And just a kitchen garden national program, teaching children to grow and harvest foods at school, giving them the knowledge that they need to know in order to eat better at home and things like that as well, and really help them in the future. So the next part I'd like to talk about is the business. So the business I chose is the Heart Foundation. The Heart Foundation are looking to tackle obesity in children by enhancing social marketing campaigns and making it a healthy normal, making healthy a normal thing. A lot of the things that they do is supporting GPs and their health professions to identify overweight kids and give them the treatment and put them in the appropriate programs that they wish would work best for them. Help New South Wales with labelling on all food, helping parents to choose the right foods and giving them the knowledge that they need in order to make healthier choices and help their kids out as well. So along with that, it's a big thing there. So they're working with the New South Wales government as well in order to find out what the best way might be to help these kids. And at the moment, the statistics there showing that there's about 22% of kids that are obese at the moment. In 2015, that was, and hopefully they can get that number down by, I think the plan was until about 2018. The last part of this is just the general knowledge and things that you might want to take away from this. So some of the stats that are there for childhood obesity and just obesity in the world as well. Kiminaki 2002 states that overweight and obese represent a rapidly growing threat to the health of all different population groups worldwide. WHO 2000, the prevalence of obesity is increasing worldwide at an alarming rate. Obesity and conditions that come with it reduce quality of life and are costly in terms of absence from work and use of health resources. Posed in 1994, every country in the world to date are either now newly appearing for rapidly rising high rates of chronic non-communicable diseases. These non-communicable diseases threaten to overwhelm healthcare systems worldwide. Obesity along takes up to 2 to 6% of the healthcare system in developed countries, greater than the percentage of heart disease. Death rates global from non-communicable diseases are meant to rise from 28.1 million to 49.1 million a year, an increase by 77%. Type 2 diabetes is one of those diseases, and that's 85% of people with diabetes are type 2. Obesity rates in adults are increasing rapidly, and in all parts of the world, both wealthy Western countries and poorer nations as well. More women are obese than men. Higher poverty areas have higher prevalence of obesity and diabetes. According to Australian Institute of Health and Welfare 2013, 3 in 5 Australians are overweight or obese, which equals around about 12 million people. 1 in 4 of these people are children, which is really alarming. So 30% more obese if they live in an outer rural area. And according to the National Health Performance Australia, Western New South Wales has the highest rate of obesity at 79% compared to 49% in the eastern suburbs. In conclusion to this, the obesity in children is really alarming. Some of the statistics there go to show that it's not one of those things that's going to be an easy fix, and there's a lot of things that need to be done in order to fix that. Starting with the government and funding for those types of programs to help educate parents and educate kids as well in order to make their healthier decisions in life. That'd be the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.